So a lot has changed since March 10th, 2022. That is the first day I put a video up on this channel. Back then, it wasn't even called SquirrelTribe. It was called Preparing for Survival. And since March 10th, 2022 till today, this channel has gained almost 170,000 subscribers. And I can tell you that the way I looked at everything on March 10th of 2022 and the way I look at things today is a lot different. It is a lot different. The platform itself has, I don't want to say changed me, but maybe changed how I feel about some things, changed how I view some things, changed how I react to some things. Some of it is a positive, some of it is a huge negative. So for those of you who have contemplated being on this platform or anything like YouTube, I will tell you, you will either learn to have thick skin over time or it will eat you alive and you will quit. In the beginning of YouTube, it was during the pandemic. For those of you who are OG SquirrelTribe people, you know it was called Preparing for Survival. So if you're OG PFS people, I love you. Thank you for still being here, you know, almost 2 years later. And if you're new to it and don't know how this all started, then here's a little backstory for you. So in March, you know, of 2022, I was going out to grocery stores and things like that. And I realized that there were a lot of people who were very curious what was happening in our world, in our country, in their cities, things like that, with what was going on with the pandemic, right? So I started making videos at the grocery stores and everything else. And those videos helped a lot of people, but they also helped me. It was a way for me to get out of my own shell, which some of you may not realize, but I'm an extremely, what's the right word? I don't want to say introvert because I'm not really an introvert at all, but I am very self-conscious in groups of people and I get very anxious and panicky talking to people face to face, like groups of people in certain situations. If I have to talk to people or if somebody comes to me for an answer or a question or something, it's very easy for me to talk to them and whatever else. But if I have to go towards a group of people and initiate a conversation and everything else, literal panic attacks, anxiety kicks in, the hands get clammy, sweaty, my face gets red, my heart rate speeds up, I talk 10,000 miles per hour. And YouTube was a way for me to kind of try to help myself get through that while also helping other people with the things that they needed to see, wanted to learn because they couldn't go out and see certain things for themselves, right? So I started the channel and I was sitting here today and I had a video that I was going to make for you guys, which I'm still going to make it because it's still something that interests me. I wanted to talk about the recent death row inmate in Alabama and how he was executed because it's extremely interesting and I can see where issues in the future may come from this. So I want to talk about that. But then I was looking back to see, I talked about something along this line maybe a year ago with, not this line as in YouTube, but the line as in death row and things like that. And I started looking back through old videos and I went all the way back to the beginning and I realized that where I am now and where I started, it's not the same. And I don't know if it's because of YouTube itself, the people, the world, the way I see things, the way things have, I want to say jaded me over time. And I don't know if jaded's even the right word, where it's made me more thick-skinned and things like that, right? But things I did not realize would happen from start to now at almost 170,000 subscribers. I did not realize that I have found myself becoming angrier over the last couple of years, which is so weird. I mean, I understand a lot of people have been angry over the last couple of years, but I find that it feels like my videos have gotten angrier over the last couple of years. In the very beginning, it was smiles and it was upbeat and it was everything else. And the more I talked about the things that I was talking about, the less I smiled, the less upbeat I was, the less chipper I was. And I feel like that translates. And unfortunately, now I'm looking at almost 170,000 subscribers. And I'm wondering how many people that are subscribed and watching the videos do it because I bring them any sort of peace or happiness or joy, I'm going to have to assume a very small few, because the things that I talk about a lot of times are not peaceful, happy, joyful things, right? I just happen to have a very sarcastic sense of humor that goes into the way I talk about things, because I'm one of those people where if I don't laugh about it, I'm going to cry about it. So I laugh my way through the stuff that sucks the most. And so I feel like the transition of the channel from beginning to now, although not intentional whatsoever, has made it hard for me to want to push for 200,000 subs, to want to push for 250,000 subs and higher, because my brain at the end of the day is going, do you want 250,000 people to watch you because they're hoping that you're going to bring them negative news? Ew, no, that's not what I want. I want people to be here because they like that they are learning something that they may not have known, or they want my take on something they already knew about. But I wonder what, Michelle or SquirrelTribe thinks about it. And I'd love to jump in the comments. You guys, like I'm saying as y'all, jump in the comments and talk to other people about what's going on, whatever else. But I realized that having almost 170,000 subs is no better than having 1,000 subs. Being monetized by YouTube is absolutely amazing. I'm not going to lie and say that, the paychecks I get from YouTube do not help me live this life that I love, because without those paychecks from YouTube and all of my other asset money making whatevers, I would not be able to live where I live and be a stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home wife, and everything else if it was not for this platform affording me that ability on top of everything else, right? So I am truly grateful for YouTube, the platform, but more so for you guys, because without you, it wouldn't matter if I was on the platform. If nobody cared about what I had to say or wanted to learn about the things that I'm talking about, then there would be no views, there would be no revenue, there would be no anything else. And I think what I have learned over time is that I'm going to get people in the comments who are extremely supportive, extremely nice, extremely helpful. And of course, I'm going to get that handful of people that are just awful. Like somebody shat them out that morning and they're still covered in doo-doo and want to fling it on me and, other people in the comment section. It's like, take a shower, wash that shit off. Like literally, just do something different. But because of that loud minority, I feel like over time, it has affected the way I deliver things, the way I look at things, the way I see things, the way I react to things here on the platform, and in the comments and stuff like that, because yes, I have built thick skin, but it can only get so thick. I'm not trying to look like a freaking, crocodile, alligator, Godzilla over here with like super thick skin. I still am a human being, and I'm still a woman, and I still have emotions. Like I'm actually pretty emotional most of the time lately. Perimenopause, yay, fun times. But what I've realized going from 0 subs to 170,000 subs is that with the growth of a channel comes the growth of that loud minority, comes the growth of also though the not as loud positive majority, technically, right? I feel like, yes, there's more comments on the videos themselves, which I absolutely love, the fact that everybody's in the comments having conversations about what we're talking about. But for every, 3 positive, there's a negative. And unfortunately, sometimes that negative outweighs those 3 positives, which in the beginning, I feel like that one negative versus those 3 positives would have like destroyed me. But the good thing was in the beginning, I didn't have that many views, and the people who were watching me didn't have negative things to say because they were thankful for what I was able to bring to them. So I wasn't getting that negativity. The bigger your channel gets, the more negativity you have thrown at you. And I have yet to decide if it is paid bots, if it is trolls, if it's just people out there who are hoping to crap on people and hoping that people will stop doing what they're doing. I mean, I'm not going to quit. People can be trolls all they want, but I'm not going to quit. I have realized that up until now, I was starting my day off the wrong way for the last couple months. If you've watched this channel for the last couple months, you probably have noticed that my videos have kind of been a little all over the place, a little roller coastery or fun house, if you will. Some days they're news related, some days are random me talking, some days they're Walmart and food related and showing you something in a store. And it's because I'm trying to get for myself back to a place where I feel like I am helpful to y'all, but also not detrimental to myself mentally and emotionally. So I think that the bigger channels that people see out there, the ones that are over 170,000 subscribers, you'll see that sometimes they turn off comments. Sometimes they do not even go into the comments and like or heart or reply to anybody. And I think a lot of times those bigger channels, one, probably because it's almost impossible with the amount of views and comments they get, but also as you go along, you learn that sometimes getting into the comment section is not a safe space for you to be. So a lot of creators quit looking at the comments. They let their monitor? No, is that the right word? Moderator. They let the moderators of their channels go into the comments and like and heart and reply for them or delete and whatever else, because it can take a toll on a creator. I've had people ask me, hey, if you had to start a YouTube channel today, would you still start the same style channel that you did in the beginning? And the answer is yes. I would still start the same style I did in the beginning. I don't know if I would have progressed to news in the way that I did, because that change or that progression from grocery stores and what's going on with our food supply and things like that into news made it so that the channel grew, which is absolutely amazing, especially because of East Palestine, Ohio. That whole train derailment on February 3rd of last year. And I saw it and I was like, are you kidding me? And I just had to talk about it. It was something that literally I could not take my eyes away from and quit learning about, because I could not understand how a company could do that to a town and the people and get away with it. And then the government pretty much cover up everything about it. But anyway, but the more I do certain things, the more I realize that I am not focusing on the positives like I used to. If you're gonna say hi, say hello. Max was at my feet and now he's in my face because that's where he likes to be. But the things I did not realize before the channel got this big was that it would make you second guess yourself. The comments and sometimes make me second guess, am I doing the right thing by talking about these things, or should I just stop talking about these things? Is it making life harder for people when I talk about these things, or is it making life easier or better for people because they're being informed of stuff? I didn't realize that the roller coaster of views, because a lot of people don't think about this, but as a content creator, if you get let's say you get 1 million views a month, you get used to seeing that number of how many views you get a month. And then when something doesn't go right and you get half of that, it starts to mess with you mentally. Let's say something goes very well and you get 2 or 3 times that, it starts to mess with you mentally, because then you're like, oh, look, I've reached the pinnacle. This is where I'm at now. And you think you're always going to be here. And then of course you're brought back down to earth and you're back into lower views, and it can mess with you. I don't think a lot of people truly understand what it's like to be a content creator. No matter what channels you watch and love, I can guarantee you that every single channel you watch and every single channel you love, whoever is in front of that camera, once that camera is turned off, there's always going to be a moment where they're like, oh, I don't know if they're going to like that. I don't know if they're going to hate me for my opinions. I don't know if they're going to tear me apart because of what I said. I don't know if they're going to receive this well. I don't know if whatever. We all doubt ourselves. We all second guess it. A lot of people will put on the happy face all the time because that's what people want from them. I can't do that. If I'm not in a good mood, y'all are going to know it. If I'm talking about something that pisses me off, you're going to feel the anger. If I'm talking about something that saddens me, you're going to feel the sadness. And if I'm talking about something that confuses me, obviously you've also felt the confusion when I'm like, how, why, what? And then also, how do you pronounce this? Because I'm really bad at pronouncing things. But when I go and look back at older videos, I realize that at the beginning of YouTube, when I had 5,000 subscribers, whatever else, it felt like it was a community of viewers. I'm going to say viewers because technically that's what it is, the views that were there because that's what they wanted. And now as a larger channel, which still I'm a baby, right? At just under 170,000 subscribers, I'm still a baby channel. But now it feels like a lot of people are there not because they want to learn things or because they want to know things, but because they want the ability to dislike it or to leave a negative comment or to whatever else. And that's weird to me. It's weird to me to go to some place that you have no interest in and you don't like, just to be able to say, hey, I don't like what you're talking about and I have no interest in this. Like, why? Why is that what we do? Why is that what we do? Now, I have noticed that over the last couple of years, you know, we've been here almost 2 years, that the way YouTube itself does things is very different than the way they did them in the very beginning. In the very beginning, it felt like they let you have a much larger range of free speech, if you will. Now it feels like not so much. You guys can attest to that, I'm sure. I'm sure there are plenty of channels that you like, that you have seen their views have been cut in half, or the channel may be gone completely, or they've been demonetized. There are plenty of channels that have been demonetized that we all know about. I'm not going to name other channels, but you guys know exactly who they are. Some in the prepper niche, some in the news niche. You have others that have been taken down and then put back up because they were found not guilty of certain things. We'll put it out there like that. But it feels like over the last 2 years, the ability to have free speech has been, I don't want to say suppressed, but certain types of free speech have been suppressed more than others. I will say that it feels like certain niches obviously have been, I don't want to use the word attacked by the advertisers, but put on notice that what those niches are talking about and doing are not things that advertisers want to be a part of. So you'll have channels out there who are like, listen, you know, I like doing what I do, but YouTube isn't paying me for it anymore, so I'm leaving. Or they say, you know, I'm changing everything I do because the advertisers aren't paying me like they used to. Like, let's say 1 year you could have made, let's just random number. Let's say 1 year you could have made 20 grand, which is really low for some, really high for others. It just depends on your content, your channel size, or whatever else. So we'll say 20 grand. And then now your advertisers who loved being in your videos 2, 3, 4 years ago are now going, yeah, we'd rather be in the fluffy stuff. So we don't really want to be in your videos anymore. So now your 20 grand is 5 grand. You've done the same amount of work. You've put in the same heart, the same soul, the same effort. You're getting 1/4 of the pay, all because now the platform does not like your niche, does not want your niche to be a thing, does not want people to get certain information, does not want whatever else, because they've moved on to this side. And it's disheartening for a lot of channels. I will say at just under 170,000 subscribers, I am beyond grateful for every single person, but I look at it and I'm like, it's weird. So I had about 45,000 subscribers in the first year that I was doing YouTube. And then February 3rd hit and East Palestine, Ohio, and that Norfolk Southern train derailment happened. And I saw the article that came out and I was like, are you effing kidding me? And I made a video. And then the next day, another article came out and I'm like, how are you lying to people like this? So I made another video and I made, I don't know, maybe 6, maybe 7 videos about East Palestine, Ohio, because I could not fathom how people were allowed to do what they were doing to innocent Americans, civilians, whatever words you want to use there. And I was a little ticked off about all of it, obviously, as everybody was. And that stretch of videos somehow gained me almost another 100,000 subscribers, which was crazy to me, especially considering that 100,000 subscriber gain had no interest in anything I talked about before East Palestine, Ohio. They didn't care about grocery stores. They didn't care about stocking your pantry. They didn't care about making sure you had enough water, making sure you had a generator, making sure you knew what the shelves looked like, what the prices were like, how to buy accordingly. Look at the, you know, not the total price, but the per ounce, per one, per pound, per whatever price, right? Those people gave zero craps about that. So when I was done talking about East Palestine, Ohio, because I did not have anything new to bring anybody, we'd already talked about it a lot, and I went back to what I was doing, I immediately lost a ton of subscribers because like, oh, I thought you were about trains. Well, honestly, I'm about whatever it is that piques my interest in my mind and I want to talk about, because if I don't want to talk about it, I'm not going to do it, because then that's just, it's fake and it's not real and that's not me. So you have grocery store talks, then you have train derailments, more train derailments. Then I'm like, let's talk about the news. Then I'm like, let's talk about the grocery stores again. Hey, let's talk about Universal Studios. Hey, let's talk about whatever else. And I know my channel is a small little roller coaster in and of itself, but because that's how I am and that's how I see things. I don't only care about trains. I don't only care about grocery stores. I don't only care about the government. I don't only care about, you know, wars, and I don't only care about health. I care about all these different things. So my channel to me is like a weird little smorgasbord of stuff. And when I put something up that gets out of just under 170,000 subscribers gets 10,000 views, my brain goes, 160,000 people don't like this. But the smart part of me goes, no, 160,000 people didn't see this. Not every single subscriber is on YouTube every day looking for Squirrel Tribe. It'd be nice if they were, hint, hint. But I know that's not ever going to be the case. But when I put stuff up and then YouTube is like, yeah, but you're not, you know, super made up. You're not looking like some of these other females on YouTube, and you're not talking about, you know, certain things that we'd like you to talk about. So we're just not going to show you to anybody. But if you could, you know, change the way you look a little and, you know, lower cut shirts or wear your hair down and put on more makeup and talk about, you know, Andrew Tate, or talk about, you know, relationships, or talk about how to get a man or how to keep a woman or whatever, then we'll, you know, throw you out there on YouTube platform, or homepage and let everybody come running. Yeah, but that's not me. That's not how I grew my channel. That's not how I want to grow my channel. So I may forever be at just under 170,000 subscribers, and I'm fully okay with that. I just wanted y'all to know that. But again, for those of you who are part of the Squirrel Tribe, I appreciate you immensely. I tell you all the time, I love you, and I say it because I mean it. If I didn't mean it, I wouldn't say it. You've never heard me say anything I don't mean. Just so you know, if I'm wrong about something, I come back later and go, yeah, I effed up there. That was my fault. And when it's an opinion I'm giving you, I tell you it's an opinion. When it's fact, I tell you it's fact. We like to smush the two things together, but we all know that I'm a very highly opinionated person. If I wasn't, this wouldn't have worked. I could not have made a YouTube channel if I had no opinions on anything. Like, that'd be kind of boring, right? I think that'd be kind of boring, but whatever. I could try to make a fully non-opinionated video. I feel like it would fall flat. Because I would fall flat, because I wouldn't know what to do with that if I was unopinionated completely. But anyway, the difference between starting a YouTube channel and where I am now, I would say I liked how I felt on YouTube in the beginning more than I like how I feel now. And that's all on me. That is not on you guys. That is not on the platform. Although I like how back in the day, the platform would give us reach. We'd be shown to more people, you know what I mean? And now the platform's like, get in your little corner, stay there, and you'll be lucky if 5 new people see you each day. Hey, it is what it is. I would like it to be different, but it is what it is. But I liked me back then better because I was still happy, go lucky, whatever, until I hit all these little rabbit holes and you know, reality hit. And it's like, wow, this place is a little effed up. Our government, they're a little corrupt, aren't they? I cannot believe they allow this. Look at our food. Holy. And so I have over time brought that negativity and cynicism and everything else to the videos, to you guys. And I don't think that's fair to y'all. And it's not fair to me. And so at just under 170,000 subscribers, this may be the video that completely destroys my channel, just so we're all fully aware, because I don't want to bring you negative stuff. And I did a video at the beginning of the year saying we're going to have positivity and whatever else. And then I fell right back into the old ways because that's what it seems like people wanted and what worked. And now my brain is going, I don't care what works. I want to be able to do what at the end of the day, I'm still going to feel good about. I'm still going to bring the truth of everything that I can, but I don't want to title things in a negative way to like scare people to click on stuff, even though that's the only way people click for weird reasons. I still don't understand that, but I want to feel like I felt at the beginning of YouTube. I want to feel like I was making a positive difference, not that I was adding anxiety or anger or sadness to people, because that was never my intention with starting this YouTube channel. It will never be my intention. And I don't want that to be what people think of Squirrel Tribe. I don't want them to think Squirrel Tribe and anger and sadness and darkness mixed as one thing. I want it to be Squirrel Tribe and light and laughter and knowledge together. So if you see changes coming, I appreciate you if you stick around, and if you leave, I still appreciate you for being here while you were. I love you no matter what. You have to do what's best for you, just like I have to do what's best for me. And what's best for me is to continue talking about the things that I find interesting and that I would hope other people would find interesting too. Not every video is going to be everybody's cup of tea. That's perfectly fine, y'all. You do you, boo. I'm gonna do me, and that's how it works. And sometimes we'll do each other? That's not correct. That's fully incorrect. I don't know where that was supposed to go, but y'all know what I mean. Y'all, you know what? It is one of those days. So how about that? Either way, I love y'all immensely. I appreciate you more than you will ever know, because without you, we wouldn't be at almost 170,000 subscribers. So thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I love you, Squirrel Tribe, and I hope to see you on the next video. Okay, bye.